What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. In today's video, I want to be talking about how all of us, we all go through challenging situations, no matter who you are, no matter how fortunate you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how many people love you or know you, we all go through challenges. We all go through hard times. And one thing I want to be pointing out, one realization that I had that I feel like could help a lot of people, or I wish that a lot of people had this mindset, is the fact that every time we go through hard times, it's so easy for us to blame external circumstances for whatever we're going through. It's easy for us to blame, I don't know, our situation basically. It's easy for us to say, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. And it's very easy for us to victimize ourselves and to just blame other things. And sometimes it breaks the ego and hurts you a little bit to try and have accountability for whatever situation you're in. It's hard to sometimes own up and say, I'm here. There's a lesson to be learned. And here's what I want to tell you guys. What I learned is when you start to really take accountability for everything that's going on in your life, and I'm talking about like even the smallest things, you start to rewire your mind. You start to engrave something in your mind that you are the creator of your reality. You start to decide what your reality becomes. I had this realization once when I just started my modeling career. So if you guys didn't know, I'm a model. I'm based in this island called Bali, Indonesia, if you guys don't know. You have to do this training before you join this certain event that I really wanted to join, a big event. And I was like, fine, that sounds good. I didn't know that you had to fly in. I didn't have a place to stay in Jakarta. And Jakarta is like a flight away from Bali. You can't just like drive a car there or something because it's on a different island. It's quite far. So every single time I had to go to this train, all the money that I worked very hard for, I had to invest into this flying me into the event and out of the event, the training. And I had to fly there and back at least 3 times. And as soon as I got to Jakarta, I'd have to get my own place. So in my mind, I was like, holy crap, I'm investing so much of my energy, so much of my time. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Long story short is I spent so much of my hard-earned money into this thing that I did not know if it was going to come back or not. And I had two options, which is I either stay within the vibration of a victim and say, why the heck is this happening to me? This is so stupid. I'm stupid. I can't believe I got myself into this. Or I decide to own up to whatever I got myself into. I decide to say, you know what? I'm in abundance. Money is going to come back. This is all experience. This is good. This is going to come back in one way or another. And by the way, guys, honestly speaking, I was making around $100 a month, working how many? 3 days a week, I think. I was working at a hotel. Why was I making that much? Honestly, I don't know why. I think it was just because I was limiting myself. But I was making around less than $100 a month at this hotel. I was a trainee, so it wasn't a full-time job, but still it was definitely not a lot amount. But instead of me becoming a victim and instead of me saying, why the heck is this happening to me, I decided to own up for whatever I got myself into. And then I said, I remember watching a video about your biggest breakthroughs come right after your toughest times, your hardest times. You see all these businessmen, they came from the slums, they worked their business from zero, they had the motivation, they felt inspired, and then nothing happened. They invested their everything and nothing happened, and God broke down their ego, and then all of a sudden, boom, something crazy happened, and it looked like an overnight success. My story felt like that a little bit. Well, all of a sudden, my last training, my bank account was basically at zero. I don't know if I had to borrow money from my mom or something, but basically, I did my last event, my last training, and then there was a casting for a job that I had to go to, and it was a week after my last training. So I had to stay and book an accommodation for 7 nights with money I didn't have. So I just decided to be in the mind of a non-victim. I decided to say, this is for me. It's all gonna work out. And this was very early on in my modeling career. I've had 0 jobs before that. Before that, I had 0 paid jobs, and I didn't know if it was gonna come back. So I decided to do the casting, and turns out it was for like a pretty big job where I had to go outside of the country and stuff. And then, long story short, I got accepted for this new job. And it was a 3-day job to Kuala Lumpur for a really big clothing brand. And they paid for my tickets there and back. They paid for food. They gave you extra money. And they paid me the biggest amount of money I've ever received in my life. And basically, I really believe that if I were to be a victim, if I were to run away and be in the vibration of a victim, I don't think I would have earned that job, if that made sense. Because so many other people were casting for the jobs, I heard also. And me, as a bald guy, I don't know, I just had the idea that something as crazy as that happened at that specific time. And it was right after I rewired my brain from a victim to a I'm not a victim. I created a situation. This situation is here because I've made these decisions. I've chosen to go through these experiences. I learned to trust God and His plans, basically. And lo and behold, I made the biggest amount of money that I had a free ticket to Kuala Lumpur. So I was supposed to work 3 days, and I actually worked 1 hour of those 3 days. So it was wild, and it was really fun, an amazing experience. And I just wanted, the point is, I wanted to let you guys know that every single person out there, no matter what situation you're in, it actually does sound insane sometimes to not be a victim, because some situations are crazier than others. Mine maybe doesn't sound as crazy as some of you guys are watching. But no matter what the situation is, just try your absolute best to don't be a victim. Stop being a victim, because you immediately allow miracles to happen to your life. You immediately attract higher vibrational things into your life, because you're no longer low vibrational like a victim. You're no longer saying that this is happening for me, I don't know why. You start to say, this is happening to me, there's something to learn, something great is going to come out of this, no matter what it is. And you start to just attract those type of situations, just like I did. So no matter who you are out there, keep your head up, stop being a victim. Start to say, whatever comes to me, it's all for an amazing reason. And with that consciousness, I believe that you will gain not only what you want, but even more than what you want in the first place. So that's all I have to say for this video. I hope that this video has helped some other human being out there. It's a beautiful day at the park today, guys. Very beautiful, very nice. Have a beautiful day.